Welcome to Creator's Head Studio. I'm Tom Marcoux, feature film producer, director, screenwriter, and novelist.
And I'm Jon Colton, creator of coltoncomics.com and writer of Paul Bunyan versus Dracula.
Today we are joined by John Heebink, a artist who has worked in comics for Marvel and for Image, penciling Doll and Creature. John's versatile style shines. He's brought his talents to the Power Rangers and classics like Nick Fury, Quasar, and Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. He's also worked on indie books like Sucker and some more stuff that we're going to get into. His passion is renowned, and welcome, John Heebink.
Good to see you both, and thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
I want to get into it right away. Your first book that you worked on for Marvel was Nick Fury, was it not?
Yeah, that's right. My sketchbooks in the time leading up to that had a lot of drawings of Nick Fury because I had an affection for him that dated from the Steranko era when I was in the junior high, and a friend exposed me to those comics, which were just a few years old at that time.
I hear you. My life changed seeing the first comics. In fact, those affected my first short films that I directed.
John, you got to draw Captain America also while you were working on Nick Fury.
Right, which was exciting too, because he's such an iconic character.
I think being a Jim Steranko fan, that must have been a little bit intimidating to kind of follow him up with Captain America and Nick Fury. I mean, those covers that he did, people are still talking about them today.
Yeah, that is an extremely tough act to follow.
Well, I think they're still trying to find another Steranko. One of the works that you did had Gideon from X-Force on it, and that's a Rob Liefeld character creation, I believe. So what was it like working on that?
Well, I was probably self-conscious because I didn't know if I could capture the vibe, the essence of that kind of character. I didn't know him well, and Rob was sort of breaking new ground all the time. But to be honest, I wasn't paying attention to that. More attached to the older comics.
It brings back what a cornball I am, because I think Gideon and Deadpool had their first appearance in the same issue of the New Mutants, and everyone was really excited about Deadpool, and I was like, yeah, I hear what you guys are saying, but I think this Gideon character is going to be really hot in the future. Like, I was a big fan of Gideon for some reason. But as far as I know, me and Rob Liefeld are the only people that really liked him.
All his characters are unforgettable. It'd be hard to lose that in trying to bring Gideon and company into Fury.
Yeah, well, and I think also, character design is and costume design is kind of its own art form. And, some people like Jack Kirby, of course, is just legend at it. And,
Eric Larson.
Yeah, Eric Larson too. I don't think that's something that can necessarily be taught. It's one of those unique art skills that people seem to have a knack for, or not. I look at other characters that Liefeld created, like Bad Rock for Youngblood, and he got a lot of crap for that. People saying, well, it's just a rip-off of the Thing, but I also think it kind of had its own unique look, and nobody else did it. You got to give credit where credit's due. Looking at your Nick Fury pages, I saw you also did a cover that had a sketch by John Romita Sr.
Yes. Yeah, I was struggling with a cover layout, and he did this powerful, simple layout of Fury drawing a gun on Cap, and Cap was sort of spinning around to see this. And unfortunately, I sold that cover for way too little money. I met a sharp operator at a convention, and had that unmagic moment of seeing a thing resold for way more than I got for it in short order.
I hear you. Hey, the good news is that it's art and it keeps on appreciating. And we certainly appreciate your art, John. Oh, and here is a great question I love to ask, which is knowing what you know, and if you could tell young people, maybe a son, daughter, nephew, niece, something, and they would listen to you, what would you say?
One thing I ran into when I was teaching was that I think some students had an expectation that they could sort of let the lectures and demos kind of wash over them. And one of the lessons that was taught early in my comics career was that you only learn by doing.
Ah,
Like right now, I'm working with an old friend of mine I've known since we were teenagers, a fellow named Eric Maurer, he's my age, he's 67. He decided he's going to do a comic book.
ah,
And I think with most people, will be like, yeah, right.
okay.
And Eric's not that guy. He's just a guy who sets his eyes on something and follows it. And he is all about, I'm teaching him Clip Studio and teaching a guy who's old enough to be a senior citizen. I guess he is a senior citizen like me.
Right.
Teaching him about a complicated app, what we're traditionally so good at. And so he plays with it a lot. He works with it a lot and rehearses, replays the things I've shown him. And, certainly in a school setting, you don't get enough students who get that.
Gotcha. Thanks, John, for being with us. And also, thank you for supporting our channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. And also, by the way, our own Jon Colton has created Paul Bunyan versus Dracula. And you can take advantage of his launch right now and get great stuff. And the links to Paul Bunyan versus Dracula are below, plus links to things from John Heebink. So thanks for being here and catch you next time.